This is Mariann Kearsley. Can you give her a big round of applause to welcome? She's volunteering her time to come visit and see you guys. And her artwork is in this Waging Peace FSU Museum of Fine Arts art show in May. And we'll be looking at a lot of different artwork. Hers is very interesting and very different than art that we typically see. So I want you to, your learning goal today is to be trying to figure out how artists come up with their ideas to communicate their message. Okay? So take it away, Ms. Kearsley.
Okay, thank you. I'm really happy to be here with you all. It's good you're here in this room. The first thing I want to tell you is one of the great things about art that I love about it is that no matter what I pick to do to make my artwork, it's the right answer. So I don't have to follow a recipe that tells me what to do. I just put it together the way I like it to be. So I think that's a lot of fun, and I feel really free to do what I want. So the thing that's so great for you guys is that, you know how in math, 2 and 2 is always what?
4.
Right, 2 and 2 is always 4, and if you say the answer is 3, it's going to be wrong. In art, when you're looking at art, every one of you will have the right answer. The right answer. So if you look at this and you think it's, I don't know, a house, that's the right answer because you're going to see something in there that looks like a house to you. So it's always the right answer. So there could be as many people as are in here, all those, each one of you could have a different answer, but it would still be correct. So remember that. So when you're making art, same thing. You're an artist, you get to pick how you do it. It's your business. When you look at it, it's what you see is right. So I want you to think about that and remember that. That's a real important thing to know. I'm an artist that likes to tell stories. So in each one of these art pieces that I'm going to show you, there's a story. So be looking for the story. See if you can figure it out. Do you ever draw pictures like this?
No.
No, ever?
Yes. I have.
Okay. These are called stick figures because they, their arms look like sticks and their feet and all that look like sticks, right? And they're easy to draw. So I make stick figures, but my stick figures are made out of sticks. And they're figures, and a figure is a body. It can be a body of a human being, or it can be a body of an animal, or a bug, whatever you want it to be, it's a body. So keep that in mind. So these are stick figures, they're sculptures that are made out of sticks to look like bodies. So you can figure out whether they're human beings, people, or animals when you look at them. Try to figure that out. So like I said, all of these pieces that I brought to you today are made out of sticks. And they're sticks I found laying on the ground. I never hurt a tree and cut a limb off of a tree to make a sculpture. I don't want to hurt the tree. So I'm always walking around looking for sticks lying on the ground, and I take them home. This stick was found by my husband last week in the backyard. And he brought it up to me and said, "You like this stick?" And I said, "Yes." And right away I saw something that I liked in it. Why don't you call out what you think it looks like to you?
A person. Everybody say.
Person what?
It looks like a
Jumping.
One-legged person? Okay.
Mermaid.
What did you say?
A mermaid.
A mermaid. That's exactly what I thought of. It looks like a mermaid.
Yeah, because
So here, what I need is to find another stick for her fins right down here, right? But I'm gonna make a mermaid out of this stick. So I find these sticks lying around on the ground, like I said, and they look like this a lot of times. They've had broken things on them, they have some bark, they've been laying around. So the first thing I do before I take it home with me is I do this thing I call the whack test. And I find a telephone pole is the best. and I take a big swing. And sometimes I don't want to do it because I really like what the stick looks like and I want to use it. But I take a real and I smash it against the telephone pole or something like that. And if it doesn't break, I know it's good and I can work with it. Because I don't want to bring home a stick that has bugs in it or that's rotten. Because they've been laying on the ground, they've gotten wet. So I want to make sure they're good, strong things to make my artwork with. So if you do any kind of work with sticks, make sure you do the what? Whack test. Very good. So what I find when I'm walking around, I'm looking at things, if I'm working on a piece of artwork and it needs an arm, I'm walking around looking at the sticks on the ground to see if I see an arm. You know, it can be bent or straight out or like this. Just depends on what kind of arm I'm looking for. So I'm searching while I'm walking all the time. I'm visually impaired. I have trouble seeing. So I walk a lot and I'm always out there, and they can be by the side of the road, it can be in the trees, it can be in my backyard. Sticks are everywhere because we live in a big forest, right? So they're laying around all over the place. So what I'm attracted to is the shape of the stick. So if it looks like a head, I'll pick it up and take it with me if I need a head. Or just because I think, oh, what a nice head, maybe I can use that later. So I bring them home and wait for all those sticks to get together in my studio. And it feels like sometimes they just kind of get together and go, look at me on this. And I go, oh gosh, it's a mermaid. I'm going to fix it, make it a mermaid. So if I'm looking, a lot of artists just paying attention and looking and see what you see out there and then using that to make your art. So if I find a stick that just reminds me of a head, or reminds me of a leg, or reminds me of a mermaid, then I know I want that. I can use that. Let me show you some of the found sticks. I already showed you about the mermaid, and you all figured that out, or you saw it the same way I did. Some people saw it in a different way. And remember, that's all what your answer is always what?
Right.
Yes, so you're doing great by doing that. So one of the first kinds of stick figures that I made, let me show you one over here. I just found this one. What does this look like to you? You can call that out.
It's
A snake, I know. Look at this, it's a great snake. It has an open mouth. See that? Okay, so I found this stick. This was in my yard too. And I thought, that's a great stick. I see a snake in there, and with an open mouth, I have to use this one. So these snake figures were some of the first things I made. Here's an example.
Whoa.
So I made this out of a stick that looked messy, just like this one did. So I carved it and shaped it and painted it. So I'm going to pass this around. I know you all can hold it and take good care of it while it's getting passed around.
Nice.
Here's another piece
There's patterns on it.
I found in my front yard. I found it about 6 years ago. It was a dead bush. Can you see that? It's a dead bush.
Yeah, it looks like a tree.
So
Yeah, with roots.
with roots, that's right.
It looks like a mangrove.
Yeah, that's true. It does look like a mangrove.
It looks like a tree.
So
There's cool.
I didn't have any piece of artwork that I was working on that it fit, but I liked it so much, I saved it. Thank you. And it's probably sat in my yard for about 5 years, looking, pretty crummy, like an old dead bush that most people would just throw away. Because I'm an artist, I can't do that. So last year, I was doing a piece of artwork called Joan of Arc, and it needed a fire in it. So I thought, I have a stick that looks like fire. So that's why I saved this, and that's what I used it for. This sculpture is about 8 feet tall, and it's going to be at the top of the Capitol. If you ever go there next fall, you want to go look at art, that's a good place to go, is the top of the Capitol. Okay, I want to show you some stick figures that are finished. Does anybody do yoga or know about yoga here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
My grandma does yoga.
Very nice.
That looks like the person doing yoga.
It is a person doing yoga. Very good. So that's the story of this piece, that it's a person doing yoga. It's a yoga position called salutation to the sun. It just means get up in the morning and say hello to the sun. Say hello to the day that you just
Bye.
Yes,
Bye.
exactly. So even her hair here is a piece of a twig. So this is a little stick figure. This is the littlest one I brought here. Let me show you another one that's bigger too. Okay, so this is a medium-sized one.
It's a man on the ship. Oh, it's a man surfing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a man surfing.
Okay.
He's surfing.
What do you think of that hairdo?
Crazy. I think it's crazy hairdo. Probably like
Yeah, big nose.
crazy hairdo.
Yeah.
It's like
It does look like an afro, doesn't it? So, I want to show you something. This is the thing about how artists get to do whatever they want. You see how this arm is short and straight, and this arm is just going all over the place and really long. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Why is that okay? Say, why do you think?
Because you can't be wrong.
That's right. I like that arm, and I thought, I'm doing that arm. That's exactly right. And look at these feet. I love these feet. Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
You see, don't they have nail polish on their toes? On their toes?
Wait, is that made out of the tree?
This is a piece of wood that was, cut down and shaped for the base. This is just, these other pieces are all pieces of wood I found laying on the ground.
Oh.
Make sure you look at the polish on those toenails.
It looks like he's surfing.
Surfing? Yeah, a lot of
like
people
the
see
polish
surfing.
on his toes.
The next one here is this sculpture right here, and we're going to put it together for you. I want you to meet Vivian Ellercon. She's my art mule. Hi guys. Do you want to tell me what an art mule does?
Yes, I'm her helper. I help her carry stuff, I help her put her art together, and I do what I'm told, because the artwork, you cannot hurt it. You can't damage it. So she knows exactly how it should be put together, so I just do what she tells me to do.
And she's really nice. If you're going to be an art mule, you have to be strong so you can carry things. You have to be smart, and you have to be nice. You have to have a good attitude. Vivian has all that. So now we're going to put this together for you. First thing I want to talk to you about for just a second is, if you're going to do sculpture, the thing you need to do first, your biggest problem to deal with, is making sure your sculpture stands up right. You know, all of us, you and I are all sculptors too. We're three-dimensional, right? And we got to stand up straight. If we fall over all the time, we're going to break stuff, right? So we don't want that to happen with sculpture. So the first thing is to make it strong. So if you bump into it, it's not going to fall over. So I found this big twig out in the woods, carried it home, and some of the legs were longer than the other, but I evened them out so they were strong. Make sure you see I'm not going to give it away what it is. You have to figure out what this is. What? But it has red toenails too. Good. Okay, so here we go.
It's a butterfly. That's his head.
That is a head, definitely.
Right now, this is magic. This is
It's a butterfly.
Keep it that way.
Oh my gosh, it looks so big. Oh.
Very good.
Which direction?
Okay, try that. Doesn't
I
she?
know it.
Isn't she a good art mule?
Where's the head?
So what is this? Okay, these are all right answers. Remember I told you I tell a story with the artwork.
Yeah.
So there are clues here on what this is, because I have some people with different ideas. Let's see if we can look at the clues and see what you think I'm trying to say to you, what this figure is. So look at some of the shapes. What do you see?
Person.
A person? You know it's a figure because it has feet, it has a body, it has a head, it has arms, right? So you know it's a figure. Just like I'm a figure and you're a figure. Now, what are these things? What do you think these are? Could be eyes. Eggs. That's what I had in mind. But I see why you think it's eyes too.
No.
That's good because if you think of eyes, that means this figure can see all around.
Yeah, they're olives.
Could be olives. If you look at the floor piece here, that's this triangle here that stands for female. There's eggs on the floor. So if this is a bird, might be a bird, it might be a chicken. Well, it's a bird.
It might be
Right. So if it has eggs down there, what kind of, is it a boy bird or a girl bird?
Female.
Why is that? That's because females have eggs, right?
Boys don't.
What are these little things on the, around here on the corner? One person answer me. Who wants to answer? Right here, you answer me. What are those all around the?
They're either twigs or like footprints.
That's right.
I was
They're feet.
gonna say footprints.
All right, that's
Bird
it.
tracks.
Bird track. That's right. Let's see. Oh, I want you to look at this right here. You see those images? Lines? They're called chevrons. And they stand for, in thousands of years ago, this image, this piece, this idea came from thousands of years ago. Things that were painted on caves. And these were called chevrons, and they stood for flight.
It wants to fly.
So you think this is a chicken or another kind of bird?
Chicken.
Why do you think that? One person answered it. That person right there in the blue. Another kind of bird, I agree with you. That's what I had in my mind, in my idea, was another kind of bird. So this is a bird, her name is Bird Goddess. I study anthropology, those stories from way back before, and saw this picture of something like that and decided I wanted to make one of those. So all these ideas, the eggs, the chevrons, the birdie feet, what did you say?
The butterfly.
You can think of it, well, does it have a butterfly head?
No.
Oh, yes, that's right. Now, why would I put a butterfly or a lizard or a bug? There are pictures all over on a stick.
To make it, fashion. There's a decoration.
It's decoration, but to me also, what I think of is sticks are homes for other creatures. Lizards walk on them, bugs live in them, right? Butterflies, if they have flowers, use their nectar. So this is more than a sculpture, it's also a home for other creatures, right? That's why I don't cut down things, because I don't want to kill anything when I'm finding these pieces. So I want to talk to you about how you turn a stick like this into a snake. So there's a lot of steps to go through. The first one is this was laying on the ground. It was dirty and muddy, and it could have insects on it. So the first thing I do is clean it. I wash it with a brush and some water. Get all the dirt off, and so I can really see what the surface looks like. So I did that. The next thing to do is, if I want to, I may want to leave the skin, the bark just like that, rough. I may want to do that. If I'm gonna make a snake out of that. Snakes are smooth, aren't they? So I want to take some of my tools and take off that bark. And I want to show you some tools. But the first thing I want to show you is, if you're going to do this kind of work, you need to be safe. Safety is really important. I have sharp knives here, and I don't want to hurt myself. So if I'm going to start going like this, for one thing, I just broke a rule. You don't pull a sharp knife towards you because you could hurt yourself. So you're supposed to go like this. So I have to remind myself that's what I'm supposed to be doing. My hand has a glove on it, so I don't cut myself. So I'm safe. So safety is real important. The other thing I do is I use a mask. This bark is coming off there in little pieces. I could inhale it. It can make me sick. So I wear a mask, a safety mask that's going to keep me from inhaling all that stuff. So if you guys start doing this in your class, make sure you have a mask. Keep those particles from going in your lungs. Sandpaper. Y'all know how to use sandpaper? So after you scrape the bark off, then you come and you smooth the surface off. If I want to. Remember, I get to choose. I'm the boss of myself. So I may want to smooth out some part and not the other. Again, I'm going to wear my mask because there's going to be particles and I don't want to breathe them. I don't want to get sick. This thing is called a chisel, this sharp thing. And this is called a, Vivian, what's this called?
We're both having senior moments.
It's one of these things you bang on chisels with a mallet. Thank you. This is really hard wood from Italy that's specially used to make mallets. I've been beating on these things for 30 years and it's still good. So, but it's a sharp tool. Again, in fact, I use a glove, safety things. So if I want to shape something, I go like that. It removes a lot of wood, a lot of material from things. So those are some of the tools that sculptors use. Other tools are, I brought some small files. These are little ones. I have big ones. But I wanted to show you those because those are used for smoothing You know, like some of these bumps that stick out, I shape those a little bit and smooth them off. And again, wear that mask and keep your gloves on. Okay. The next thing you do after you've prepared the surface of the piece is to paint it. You paint it to tell the story and also to seal the wood up. So I used two kinds of paint. One is acrylic paint that you guys probably use here. Another one are paint pens, and you shouldn't use those. They're not good for you to breathe. So I use a fan to get the fumes out of my studio, and I wear the mask at the same time. But that's what this is. It's painted, the story is painted on here. And the story is eggs and flying and a bird head, and all those colors go together. I make a floor piece because I want it sort of to have its own space, its own room. When it's in a museum, I will, like your beautiful rug here, I put the floor piece down and it's got its own place to be, this bird. Her nickname, this bird, is Big Bird. So I don't always call her by her long name. Oh, after I clean it and shape it, I forgot to tell you one part, is to put it together. It's called joining. You stick pieces together so you can't see very well where they are stuck together. So that's what this is. It's taken limbs, put them together, and make a figure.